Okay, today is Wednesday, January 31st, 1996. Now, wasn't that a nice little speech? That little Christmas day. Notice that there were no notes. It was very clear. Notice it was very subdued. It was very nice. It was very calm, very controllable. Well, you're not going to see tapes like this very often for me, because since I've been on this algae, I've become much more intense, much more excitable, and much more adventurous, and much more gutsy. Let me tell you about what happened here a little bit before Christmas, and then follow up after that, and just review things real quickly. Now, I do this on other tapes, but those tapes are, most of the people I'm giving these tapes to now are real nice and calm and gentlemanly. You're not ready for those other tapes. Those tapes are too intense. Until I get to know the type of person, who you are, or where you're coming from, you're not going to get the real explosive tapes, because I don't want to. I found out they've been scaring some people away. So I decided that I'm going to go back to my original plan of making up my tapes two ways. This way, which is a gentle and easygoing, and the other ones where I'm a drunken radical going crazy man. But those are more fun to make for me, and also a lot of people like those, but I've scared some older people away with those. So what I'm going to do is keep it this mild thing here for my introductory purposes for the people who I really don't know where they're coming from yet, until I have more experience in knowing who wants what and whatever. Okay, when I first started going on this algae, like I said, back in August, which was 8/10/95, what happened is, after about 2 or 3 weeks after I was on this algae, I was having just floods of ideas in my head, and I made an epic film that was, not was, but is, 6 hours long. Now, I believe that this will probably be one of the best things that I will ever make in the terms of its spontaneity and information and content. And what I do in 6 hours is astronomical, so you have to get that 6-hour tape. Now, in that one, I get a little bit excitable, okay? Now, all I did is for a month and a half, I dropped out of all contacts with people very closely. I just went to work, did my job, came home, and I made these tapes. Now, what I did is I was so excited, I was so proud of this masterpiece, that I spent many, many, many hours just duping this thing up, this 6-hour tape, and giving it out to certain people. But what happened is, out of the 20 tapes approximately that I gave out, this is quite an undertaking for me, but the drive in me was so great from this algae, I just thought I just had to share with everybody what this thing was about. Well, I was a little bit taken back when I found out about the feedback that I got from this tape, and what most of the feedback was is nobody could watch it, nobody could finish it, except one person. And this one person came through famously. But that's an exception. He's a 75-year-old man, and he got on the algae, and he's doing quite well now, and that's brought out in my other tapes. In fact, he made me into his will, and he feels 20 years younger. And this is one of the reasons why I'm making this film right now, because this is the main thing I found out from showing all my films and some other things that I've tried to make, and also out there test piloted different kind of films. If anybody watching this film, if you are over 40 years old, by taking this algae and taking the accelerated thing on it, I mean, this is if you really have a great positive attitude and you say, hey, I want to get myself back in shape. If you get on the algae and get back into juicing, which I will instruct you and help you with or whatever, because if you go off on your own this way and you don't know exactly what you're doing, you can hurt yourself. So I'm warning you right now, don't go crazy with this stuff until you talk to me. Don't be a know-it-all. All you're going to do is set yourself back, okay? So get on the algae with me or whatever. Now, there's a lot of points I want to cover here real quickly, because there's been a lot of questions, a lot of feedback you've been getting back from the different films. I've been going crazy making these films for the last 3 months, getting them out to people, getting feedback from them, and everything else. and it's good. Most of it's been negative, but that's okay. Negative, I can turn around to positive. I've accelerated my education, and this is what this algae does. It makes you not to get so defensive, and it makes you more constructive, even though you get back negative feedback. Now, anybody who's 40 years or older, if you get on this stuff progressively, like I'm saying right now, you can make yourself feel up to 20 years younger. Go back how you felt 20 years ago. This stuff will do it. So this actually is a fountain of youth if you treat it and do it right. In fact, I'm going to undertake a challenge that I made unto myself, just like I did with this pool table, which I'll be getting to into a second, because people are kind of confused when I'm talking about this pool table. Well, let's get back. Let's start with the pool table, and then we'll get back to this 40 years thing, okay? Now, at the time I made the film that you just started watching before, where I was wearing that yellow shirt, that was Christmas Day, December 25th, 1995. Now, what had happened just the morning before, and the day before, Christmas Eve day, in the afternoon, somewhere around 5 or 6 o'clock, the slate for that pool table that I was working on was just brought into the house. So I was in the middle of a great mission that I undertook. Now, what I did is I made a tape of how this pool table, how I bought it, how I put it in the truck, what I had to design to put the slate into, how I got everything going, how I had to tear the steps out in my house in order to get the slate in here, bring it up. So I put myself on the line live during this whole epic pool table experience to get this thing in here. That I put myself on the line saying certain things were going to be done at certain times, and there was going to be a lot of design problems, how it would get into the house, how it would get it up here, and I did it basically all myself. Because I was on Algae, and I knew that I could do it myself. Plus, I wanted to do it myself for many reasons. The first reason was, I'm the only one I can depend on totally. Number two, I didn't want to ask anybody else to help me with this project because it's very time-consuming. I don't expect somebody to come over here and spend all this time to help me. Number three, it was a very, very dangerous undertaking. It should not be done by anybody home alone, okay? But I decided to do it. I'd rather take the chance of hurting myself alone than having somebody else here helping me and have them get hurt. So I didn't want to take a chance of having anybody get hurt while I was doing this. So I figured out, since I'm not the person I used to be before I started taking this algae, my algae brain told me that I could do this. And I was so confident that what I could do, that I went on tape and filmed every phase of this whole operation, saying how I was going to attempt to do it, and how I went through it, and how I ended up doing it, live, nothing rehearsed, nothing staged, anything that happened that came up that had to be taken care of in an emergency situation or a design plan or whatever had to be changed. It's all on a film that I have. That, of course, has to be edited because it took me 15 two-hour films to film this pool table project from beginning to end. Now, that's just what I filmed of what I've done, okay? It took me, I spent basically a month and a half to get this table up here. Now, a lot of people say, what's the big deal about this pool table? Well, the pool table is a very, very integral thing that I use as a lot of examples in my 6-hour form about life and how we got to be where we are now and all this other kind of stuff. So once you get into that film, you will understand. But this is the main point that I'm trying to make here. The positiveness, frame of mind, that this algae puts you in makes you be able to do things that you can do, whatever your capability is. I'm not saying you can do what I can do or I can do what somebody else can do or whatever. I mean, it brings out the best of whatever your capabilities are. Everybody's different. You can't compare somebody else against somebody else's standards or how rich somebody is. What I'm saying is for you, this algae will make you the best that you can be. And everybody's different. Now, I'm not standing up here bragging about what I did here or this. I'm just up here telling you the facts, okay? Now, this is what I did on this tape. I said, this is going to be done by this time is going to be done, this is going to be done by this time. But what happened is I ended up getting the table, the pool table, assembled and put together, and I took a shot on it before the new year came in. Now this slate, just the top of it, 4 foot by 8 foot, they don't even make these tables like this anymore, or they're very hard to get. This table is 20 years old. This is right in front of me. In fact, the tripod and a camera that is filming me right now is on top of the pool table. Now some people say, well, how do we know the pool table's in the room? Well, right now the pool table is covered with a lot of junk and my tools and stuff because I'm altering things underneath the pool table and doing other things in the room here necessary so I can play with this thing up here, because this place has to go through major alteration before you can have a free playing ground. But this will happen. That's no problem. That's just details. The thing is, I have the film of the pool table, so if you want that, I can get that together for you. What the terms will be at the time that you purchase it, I don't know. It may be for free. I may want $1 or $2. I don't know. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when it comes. Now this pool table thing idea is giving me other ideas. Now in the process of making these tapes out and giving them to people or whatever, I found out that you can't do that. So I came up with a great algae idea. And this is what I do. And this is what you have done if you're watching me now. I tell people I got something for them that can help them make money, help them save money, and make them feel healthier, wealthier, and wiser. They go, what? So what I do is I create a little bit of interest. I say, listen, all you do is give me a new cassette tape, brand new, in a wrapper, and I'll tape it up for you and give it back to you free of charge. That's it. That's all you got to do. So what this does, this eliminates a lot of people that I won't waste my time on giving tapes to and having to ask them if they watched it, bother them to get it back, because this is my tape. I mean, these cost me between $2 and $3, depending on what kind I get. For me to make it, tape it, and give it to somebody because they have no investment, there's a problem. My algae brain has solved this problem. What people do is they bring me a new one in a sealed container. That way they have an investment. That way, if they don't watch it, they feel more obligated to watch it because they bought the tape and they gave it to me. Now, if they don't like what's on it, which a lot of people said when I decided to start doing this, it's your tape, you bought it. The notch, tape over it, use it, and tape anything you want off a TV. That's what you do anyway. You buy blank tapes to tape anything you want off a TV anyway. So just tape over it if you don't like it. It didn't cost you nothing. The tape you're going to buy anyway sooner or later for your TV. So that's it. Problem solved. Very simple. But I thought of it. Nobody does this. Do you know anybody that has a business they have that they give you the tapes to you for free? Oh, yes, there is. These people work for Amway and some of these other companies. In fact, this company I'm working for now, this algae company, they have tapes. They want you to do that way, but I'm not going to do that. The tapes that I have that I'm willing to give somebody from the company, I'll rent those to them because there's wear and tear on those, and they cost me money, and I have to pay and repair them. But what I'm going to do is make my own tapes up. And plus, my tapes are better than their tapes. They're not only more entertaining, more informative, but I know basically more what the people want, and I can give it to people for nothing. Just my time. So I'm willing to do that. Plus, it would lead them to other tapes that I have to offer for the many other business enterprises that I'm involved in. Now, let me step back a little bit farther here. It sounds like I'm wandering, but I'm not. Now, I've been wanting to make this video business and get it going on getting the different businesses that I'm involved in and will be getting into the future on videotape, so when people call me and answer my ads, I could say, hey, I have a videotape on this. If you get a hold of me and meet with me, I can give you the videotape and it will explain everything that's on it. But something was bothering me and kept on telling me to put it off and put it off and put it off, and I don't know what it was. I think it was because I just didn't have it together yet. My subconscious was just telling me it's not right now to do this. Well, when I got in this algae, the algae got me going on all this stuff all at once. So it made me physically stronger, mentally stronger, more confident, but cautious. Problem solving is easier. Everything in my life has been easier since I've done this. Getting this pool table up here, all the different things that I had to design, I had nobody to consult on this. I had to figure this all out myself. And I did it. 1, 2, 3. The things I had to make, like the slate had to go into a fixture so I could put it into the truck. I took all the wood out of my garage, went over to a friend's house, put it all together in 3 to 5 hours in his garage, and all I had was nothing. Nothing was missing. I had the right amount of lumber that I needed. Wasn't short anything. Only had a couple pieces left over, but I ended up using those for something else anyway that I needed in this after I altered it a little bit. All the nuts and bolts, all the drills I had, everything popped together smoothly. There was no problem. When I went to take the pool table apart to put it in to slate in this fixture and put it in the truck, everything moved. It was like it couldn't have been planned better. Things never moved smoother for me in my life than this algae. I'm telling you, this algae is what it is. And I'm going to be doing another great test on this too, which is really putting my butt right out in the line. But this is my saving your ass, covering your ass Al tape to all my friends and family and everything on what I'm doing, so they can't say later, hey Al, why don't you tell me what you were involved in? Well, this is it. Well, anyway, I went through all this rigmarole and everything, and the only problem there was with this pool table was the people that I needed to help me to do the brute work to bring the pool table to my house from where I bought it, and also from the side of the garage where we stored it temporarily until I got the house all prepared so we could bring the slate in, and then I could bring it upstairs the way I did now. This pool table is now in the upstairs, second floor of my house. Now, people problem. That's the only problem I had. See, the algae isn't going to help you solve other people's problems, because you still have to deal with other people, and if the other people you're dealing with have problems, then you don't have really problems. You got, let's say, difficult situations because you have to depend on other people to do certain things. Well, in order for me to get my algae business going, it depends on getting other people interested in it and getting them healthier mentally and physically, so not only they can make money, but they can help me make money, and then we can help other people make money, so we can all make more money and be healthier and make the families and friends around them all in a better situation. This is what this is all about. Now, together with the algae business, there's other businesses that I'm involved in, but this is my main business now. The algae business is what I see is the main thing that anybody can make some money at. Be you 9, 10 years old or 90 years old. Now, what I did, after sending all these tapes out and everything, I came up with this idea about the cassette thing, which is great. Now, some people don't like the way I do things on the videos. Well, I have all the videos of the company. This algae company that I'm set up with, I got all 10 of them. The ones that give you information and everything like that. But my 6-hour film has basically condensed this 20 hours that's on all these. I got it all in 6 hours. And it's more entertaining, and it's mine is just superior. But if you don't like me, I got this stuff, okay? Ask me for these. I'll rent them to you. I'll probably be renting them for $1. For one day, you can have it for $1. You can watch this film, and you give it back to me. Because there's wear and tear on them, and I have to buy these. So if some are damaged or they wear out or whatever, I can't give it to you for nothing because I can't copy those. There's copyrights on them. I can't put them in a machine and copy them and give them to you. It'd be breaking the law. But see, that's what gave me the idea of making my own tapes up, because I can copy my own tapes and give them to you and tell you about the business. The only thing is I can't say the name of the algae company, which is fine. It's not necessary for you to know what kind of algae this is. All these are, as I talked about already, just little capsules like vitamin pills. You just take them. There's no big deal. Now, so these 6-hour film that I made, nobody can get through it. The only person who got through it is some guy, a lifelong friend of mine, who was really feeling down and on his deathbed, gave up on life and everything like that. And I told him, Bob, hey, this is a great film. You got to watch it. I got it all together here. Trust me in faith. You're not feeling good. You're in bed. Watch this thing. I can bring you back to life. He had a lot of heart problems. He had vein stripping. He just thought he was going to die. He was dying. Well, anyway, he watched my film, and I helped him get together a juice program and get on the algae, and he feels like he's 20 years younger, and I'm cut into his will and all this other kind of stuff. This guy is just happier than all get out. But the thing is, what about the other 19 films I gave out to other people, like at work and this and that and family? Nobody can get through it. They don't have time. Of course they can't. In my film, it explains why they can't. They're sick. They're not sick because They're not sick in a way where you're puking and this and that. They're sick because they are not balanced. They don't have the right minerals in their body, so their brain and their body is not working at the best, not the best, but I mean not even at a very well working condition. Their attention span is too short. They're all screwed up. They're all having problems, just like maybe yourself and everybody else around you. Everybody's all confused. Everybody's hateful. Everybody's down and everything. Also, by the way, I know I said this before, but your attitude becomes more positive. You become more peaceful of mind. Things become clearer, and you start feeling physically better. Less aches and pains for people. So the big tape that I have here, the 6-hour tape, I find out is only going to work right now for the people who are desperate. And it's their last gasp of hope that they're willing to try anything. So they're wading through my 6-hour tape, because it's their last chance. For everybody else in between who is not desperate, down to the person who is very, very curious, or the people who are very, very high health conscious, or intellectually just want to know what I have to say here, these are very, very few isolated cases of people who are going to be interested in making it through my 6-hour tape. Now, I realize this now. Hey, just because I think I made a great movie doesn't mean everybody else thinks it's great. But it's not great because I made it. It's great because of the content and the information that's in it and how I explain things. And very few of you will ever get a chance to see it or make it through it, because most of you, I hate to say it, don't have the right balance of minerals and elements in your body that you can do it. Because you're not interested. The reason why you're not interested in learning about something that would make you healthier and make you more money is because you're sick if you're not interested in something that's going to make you healthier and make you more money. I'm sorry, that's my standards. If you're not interested in making more money or making yourself feel better or make yourself to the best you can be by eating the right kind of food or trying it, then you're a very sick person for at least not trying or listening to the tapes. If you decide to go on the Algae or whatever, that's your decision to make. But see, all my mission is to get ahead in life, make myself feel better at the same time, and I found a business that I can make people feel better and make money at the same time. That's what this is all about. Well, anyway, I've been challenged by a lot of people to say that this algae is not all what it's up to be, especially when I say it will make you feel 20 years younger. Well, my strength has increased, and my endurance, and my mental attitude and energy has increased to such a level that I put myself on the line that I'm going to go back and actually become younger by getting in shape. And to measure that, becoming younger, what I mean by younger is I can't become younger. I mean, I'm as old as I am, okay? I'm 45 years old, or going to be 45 years old in a couple more months. I am 45 years old. But if I could go back and get to the performance that I was when I was in my 20s, I am becoming virtually 20 years younger. That's what I mean by 20 years younger. I will feel 20 years younger and be performance-wise 20 years younger. And as far as I'm concerned, if somebody can change the state that their mind and body is in, where they can think and physically be like they were 20 years ago, then they are actually 20 years younger, feeling-wise, of course. But as far as being in shape, they are actually in the shape that they were 20 years ago, so they actually are younger than they were. Not in time. Their body, of course, every second we get older. We get older every second, okay? But what I'm saying is, you will feel younger, you will function younger, and you will act as if you're that age, 20 years that you were ago. Only if you get on the algae and you do some other very drastic things, like start, not drastic, but decide that you want to get into this full boat and start going into juicing and making the algae work better, like I talked about in the tape earlier. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I'm not doing this because I'm bragging or whatever. I'm just going to tell you some performances of what I did when I was younger, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to match them, and I think I will be able to. Now, we're going back to 1969, 68. Those are the years that I set these records I'm going to put up here. And I'm going to keep a log on this. I got a calendar. I'm going to mark down my program, what I do and everything to get back to this, because a lot of people are going to know if I do accomplish this, because a lot of people are going to be watching me. I once did 1,000 sit-ups when I was a kid 3 times. I have a whole story on that. In fact, I have a tape on it, one of my nastier tapes. I'm not going to go through it all right now because you can only tell the story the way I tell it when I'm a little bit lit and I'm really flown and I'm really nasty and it's really going good. It's kind of funny, but anyway, this is the mild tape, so I'm just going to give you the facts. Okay, I did 1,000 sit-ups. I did 1,001, I think, and 1,003, and then in college in 1969 in the fall, in my freshman year, it was early in the year, I did 1,111. So 3 times in my life I did over 1,000 sit-ups, if not more, but those are the ones that stick in my mind. I may have did it maybe one other time in private when I was in training or something, okay? This one here was in training, of course. This one here was just a bet with my high school gym teacher at the time. This one here was a bet with a kid in college. And I have a whole story around how all this came about and everything, so I can, you can get that on my other tapes if you want the sit-up thing. Now, so I'm going to go back and try to match that. Yeah, 45-year-old man. I'm going to try to do it before my 46th birthday. Next year in April. My birthday is April 18th. Okay, so I'm giving myself 1 year, a little bit more than 1 year to do it. I may do it before 19. See, this is 96 that I'm making this film. I may do it before January of 1997. I may do it. But I'll give myself that extra 3 or 4 months because I just may need it, because don't forget, we're going back, let's say 1969, and that when next year, see, this is 96, so it would be in 97. So we're going back 28 years ago. I want to go back and match the performance that my body was in 28 years ago. So I'm even going to try to shoot back and go farther than 20 years. I'm going back almost 30 years. And I say if I can go back and do between 80 to 90% of what I could do back in 1969, I would be virtually 20 years younger, because don't forget, I'm going back 28-year performances. I could go 80 to 90% of that if I go back to only 20 years ago, which gives me 8 years less. So if I go back to 80% of what I used to do when I was in my prime, basically that's what I was doing 20 years ago. So this is my logic behind this. Now, the other thing for performances, I was pull-up king in school and all that stuff, and I did something like 27 to 28 pull-ups. That's where you hang on the bar this way, and you go all the way down, fully extended, 27 or 28 of them. So that's it. So I'm going into massive intensive training on this algae combined with juicing. I'm going to go back and match those records. This is the way to shut up these people who I gave some of my films to, who says I'm full of it. Now, another reason why I'm making this tape, because since I made the tape that you started off with, which is my Christmas gift to my family thing, I got my first commission check from this company, so I'm making money already. So I'm already proving that I'm making money in this business. I have Xerox copies of this or whatever. I also got Xerox copies from my upline. That's the person who is like 3 or 4 above me, from people who have signed me up. She is making per month around $678, so almost $700 per month commission. So she's making some serious money, and she's only been in the business for about 1.5 years. So this is good. I'm shooting for the money, of course. So eventually I can retire and I don't have to worry about anything else, and this business is great. And also I can help you make money. Plus I'm doing something else. My algae brain is telling me. I came up with a plan. How, where's my magic marker? How, even if you don't join up and take the algae because you think it sounds too slimy and all this other kind of stuff, I have a new idea here. And this is the way it works. First, I'll tell you how I make my money and how you make your commissions, which would be the same way you do if you decide to join up with the company. First, you decide if you like the algae and you want to do it. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to join. It costs once in a lifetime $25 to join. That's it. I'm just giving you the facts on this. I'm not trying to do this to convince you or sell you. In fact, I don't even want you to join until you're really happy with this stuff, because I don't want you to have a bad taste in your mouth. No pun intended. So this is what I'm going to do for you. I told you about the $35 plan for 2 weeks that you can try this stuff. and decide if you like it or not. Now this is basically my cost of the pills. I'm making very little money on this. In fact, I am saving you money because I buy this stuff in large quantities. And the bigger quantities that you buy this stuff in, of course you're going to get a discount. So I just don't buy the little bottle that has 75 pills in it. I buy the bottle that has 300 pills in it. So I get a big discount on this. So the little bit extra that I charge you for this, to pay for my shipping and handling and also for giving you your pills, you can't buy them yourself cheaper if you were to join this thing or whatever at buying them at small quantities. And after you look at the price list sheets, which I'll show to you, and I'll show to you what I am charging you, and you can look on the list and you can see that I'm not making any money on it. Or I'm basically breaking even. See, I'm not doing this to make money on this. I'm just doing this to get you to try it to see if it works for you. After that, if you like it, you're going to take it, and then everybody makes money, okay? Now, this is the way you make money with the company. You pay your $25 once. Now, what they do for you, a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to join something because anything you got to pay money for, I ain't going to join. Okay, fine. If that's what you have in your fine. If you still feel that way after I explain what I'm going to explain to you, and you still feel that way, then you need Algae very badly because what you're saying is very stupid and asinine. Watch this. For $25, the company keeps track of all the Algae that you buy, everybody that you sign up underneath you, what they buy, and all the way down the line. And at these levels that people buy at, you get commissions paid back to you for the Algae. So you don't have to keep track of what everybody is buying underneath you, or your people underneath you that you sign up. They keep track of all this. That's what this computer printout is, and this is what I asked my upline to give me. I know you can kind of see the lines on this because I've done this before. See all this here? This is people's names, phone numbers, social security numbers. No, I don't think social security numbers. Yeah, social security numbers on here. So they can call them. They know how much they buy. It says their volume. They say at what level. They say who's under who and what, so you know how everything falls. So you can keep track of your people. So you can contact them, help those who were once good and falling away, pump them up a little bit because they become a little bit discouraged or whatever. And so that's what they do for that $25. Forever. One-time fee. At least that's what it is now at the time that I joined it. I don't know if they're going to change it. I mean, if they change the rules and say they're going to charge $25 every year to do that, hey, I can't be responsible for that. But I'm just saying for right now, all it is a $25 one-time fee to join up. Now, this is the catch. It's not a catch. Actually, I like it. Because if it wasn't for this, I couldn't offer you the plan I'm going to offer you. And nobody's going to offer you a plan like this. In order for you to receive commissions of the Algae bought, either what you bought or people underneath you, you have to, each person who signed up, first you have to be signed up. One time for your $25. You have to buy at least $50 worth of this Algae per month. Yourself, personally. Before you can receive commissions to yourself or receive them from any of the people underneath you that you signed up and any people that they signed up and downward, okay? Now, if you sign up for $25 and don't buy $50 worth of Algae, this day I just want to save money, I'm just going to buy $30 worth of Algae per month. Fine, you can do that. But you would not get any commissions on what you buy, and anybody that's underneath you, any commissions that you are eligible for, if you bought $50 or more, you will not get. That's cool. The main thing is if you have people signed up underneath you, once you do start buying your $50 worth in the future, then you will start getting your commissions from these people underneath. But if you don't join and you send people to me, this is what I'm willing to do. And nobody is willing to do this except me. If they are, they're copying me. If you send somebody to me and they join for their $25, I will, of course, write down in my own records that you, John Doe, okay, let's say your name is John Doe, or Mary Doe, Mary or John Doe, okay, and you sent me Don Miller, okay? When I get my computer printout and I see Don Miller on here and you send him to me, I'm willing to give you half of my commissions that I get from him. And this computer printout breaks it all out. Don Miller bought $82 worth of algae stuff last month. Your commission is $8. My commission, because he signed up underneath me. But you send him to me. What I'm willing to do is give you half of that. $8 divided by 2 is $4. So now, I'm giving you a way to make money with no investment. You don't have to buy the algae and eat it if you don't want to, and you don't have to pay any $25. People say, well, Al, how do you make out on this? Well, if you don't join for $25 and you don't buy the algae yourself, I can't make any money because you're not buying any of this stuff, right? Right. But if you're willing to just see if you can make any money off of this without doing anything, no investment at all, in other words, you think this is all a con, just by answering some phones and returning some phone calls and spending only your time when you want to, it's up to you. I have this whole system all designed out. I'm not going to go into it now, but if you're interested in, I have a tape. You give me a sealed cassette tape, and I will give you the tape that explains how you can make money in this thing and how I do it all, okay? And you can go home and put it in your VCR and watch it. I have that tape. I'm just touching on this to show you the business opportunity for people who don't have any money, they don't want to eat the algae, and they don't want to pay the $25 to join the thing because they don't trust it. I am willing to give you half of whatever you would have got yourself if you joined up. See, that's what's so beautiful about this whole thing. I give you a chance to test if this will work for you with no risk to you. My algae brain came up with this. So you can see this stuff is working for me. That's the deal. You return calls to people. You steer them to me. You say, hey, listen, this guy has this stuff that will make you more money. If you're interested in making more money, make you feel healthier. If you're older, you want to feel younger. If you're younger and you want to feel stronger. Kids in high school want to become stronger. You're going to say, hey, this guy, this is the film right now that I'm making is you're going to show people. Because you have it. It's yours. If you are watching this film right now, the odds are you own the film that you're watching because you gave it to me and I copied this and gave it to you and said, okay, adios, it's yours, do what you want. So you can have your friends come over, put it in a VCR, or go to their house and put it in a VCR, let them watch me. I'll sell for you. You don't have to sell anything. That's another beautiful thing about this. And if you want tapes from the company, I have those too. I have everything you want in this stuff here. My 6-hour film, if you can get to that, that's great. You want to get together and brainstorm. You're talking about controversial film. In this film, I explain why everybody's going crazy and why the food supply is not giving the people what they need. And there's a natural reason why this is happening. And only I can see this. Because I'm on algae and I have certain physical and mental deficits. And it just happened and I'm born at the right time. I have this special gift that I can see things, and this algae is making them see me more, that I put together everything I've seen on National Geographic films and everything I've learned scientifically through my whole life. I figured it all out, and I got it all in one film. And I'm not all super scientific about it, explaining it to you. I explain it in layman terms what's going on and how it all works, and actually it's very, very simple and logical how it works, and I back it up with scientific facts. That's what this film is about. This is no hoopla just standing up there and saying, well, I think this, and I think this, without backing it up. I back this up with proof, and the proof is in the pudding. And I'm going on record right now. Winters are going to be colder, more brutal. Summers are going to be hotter and more miserable. We're going to have more violent storms during the summertime and the wintertime than we had in the past. We're into it right now the last couple years. The next 10 years and on, it's going to be worse. Mark my words. In the news, things are going to get worse. more violent crime, more bizarre crimes, bloody crimes, more wars. Everything's going to be like of that caliber will all be increasing. You will be people around you wackier, more irrational, more confused, more a mess. Yourself becoming more and more upset with everyday things. More than you would if you can remember back 10, 15 years ago. Things weren't so bad compared to what they are now. I have news for you, you're going to get worse. Unless those people get on Algae, yourself and the people around you, but see, you can control your own destiny a little bit. For at least getting yourself on Algae, you can feel better and know more what's going on like me. See, I don't get upset like I did with people before. Because I thought it was because the people did it. No, the people are reacting to their environment and the food they're eating. That's why they're all crazy. This is what this is all about. The algae straightens everybody out, or the people that eat it, I mean, straightens them out to the best that they can be straightened out. So they're not as wacky. And also they can feel better, stronger, and think more clearer, make less mistakes, not be so confused. The algae does all this for you. It's doing it for me. This is what makes me get all my thoughts all nice and clear. Notice how nice everything is just flowing here in this film. Notice I have no notes in front of me. A lot of people say, well, Al, you're just good at this. Yes, I am. I was good at it before, but just in the last month and a half I've been making these films, I got a lot better at it. Because I've been on algae longer. The longer I'm on algae, I'm still here. I am still healing. I'm getting better. That's why I'm convinced I can go back and do this. I can match what I did 28 years ago. And who knows? Maybe if I go hard enough and the power of this algae is as powerful as I think it is, I might even surpass and become stronger and in better shape than I ever had in my life. Which will prove to me, and I think to anybody else watching this, that it will prove that it is the algae. Because back when I was getting in shape, I was working out so much and so hard and put myself through such a rigorous program that going to the Marines would have been a vacation for me, considering what I was doing. I put myself through some real vigorous physical training. I mean, I pushed myself between 15 and 18, 19 years old. Oh my God, I could not have I'm glad I did what I did, because now I know that I tried as hard as I could to be in the best shape that I could back then when I was. I pushed myself, I was running, I was doing this, I was doing these pull-ups, sit-ups, doing all these things, and I know if I can go back and match that and even surpass it, I know it's because of the food. Just think if I had that food when I was in high school. That's why any of you kids who are watching this now, if you're an athlete or you're in high school and you're in competitive sports or whatever, if you get on this algae, it will give you an edge over all the other guys. If you can take a 45-year-old man, like I'm going to be soon, and make it so I can go back and get in as close to 80 to 90% the shape I used to be in, and maybe even become in better shape, just think if I was eating this stuff when I was 18, 19 years old, what I could have done. For those of you who are watching this who are that young, you have that opportunity. Here it is. What else was I going to say here now? Okay, I covered the tapes that the company has. I talk about the 6-hour tape I have. Now there's a problem. Not a problem, it's a situation. What I'm doing to make sure people are watching my tapes, some of you may not have the test to go along with it yet. Basically, it's not a test. Basically, it's like a little questionnaire. So that way, when I give you a tape, there will be a couple questions that you have to answer. There will be multiple choice questions. Some of them will be fill-ins. And if you don't pass the test 100% correctly, I know you're not paying attention to my film, so you won't get the next film, even if I'm running them and charging for them. I will not give them to you because it's the loss of my effort. I'd rather fill the orders to the people who are paying attention. I'm not going to do this just for $1 or $2 to give my films out to people. I want people who want to get my films and pay attention so they know what I'm talking about, so they can help my many, many businesses going. By the way, this is my main business I'm involved in. I'm involved in many other different things. get that tape on all the other different things I'm interested in. I mean, that you may be interested in, that I am involved in. Because you may not be interested in this here. You may be interested more in my finder's fee for people who go out and find tree trimming jobs for me, which I'm involved in tree trimming business. This is one of many other things that I do. There's a storm out. You go out, you look for trees, you hand out business cards. I give you a commission of every job I get for every lead that you give me. And everything that I do is all on percentages. Nobody works for me. You work your own hours. All you need is a telephone and the will to want to do something. And I'm telling you, when you get into this algae, you get the will to do it. So for $35, like I said, get on my program. If you're young, get your parents on it and get them to help you get on it, just so you can experiment around with it and see what's going on with this, and that's it. If you're willing to become just a customer and buy this stuff for $35 a week, fine, I'll help you. Because, see, I get a commission on whatever I buy, so you're helping me even if you don't join the thing. So that's why I don't care if you join or not join. I win either way. You win either way. You'll make only half of your commissions if you don't join, but at least you're making half the commissions with no investment. I can't give you all the commissions because what's my kickback? See, but I'm willing to split it. Nobody else is going to give you a deal like that. Plus, I have many, many other things that make the algae work better. The juicing thing I touched on. Plus, it's just not juicing. It's juicing the right stuff, the right way. And it's different for each person. And I get feedback from you to tell you, from what you tell me, after I tell you what to juice, with the different combinations of the algae pills. I mean, some people will have to take these in different dosages. There's basically 4 different types of pills. I covered that already. But some people, from the information and feedback that you give me, I can tell you how to change your diet. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor. But then again, I don't have to be a doctor to help you straighten this out, because this is not drugs. All it is natural food. It's like vitamins. But the only thing is, when I tell you about vitamins, a lot of people are watching and say, well, I take vitamins, I don't need algae. Algae has all the vitamins in it, all perfectly balanced, exactly the way it's supposed to be for your body. And when you get my 6-hour film, I explain this in depth, why this is so. See, I'm just not talking off the top of my head. In fact, some people I know who are on vitamins, they're always sick anyway. I haven't been sick yet this winter. And I don't think I'm going to be sick for a long, long time afterwards. Usually for the last couple, 3-4 years, I got on juicing. That helped reduce the amount of times I got sick, the length of time I got sick, and how long I got sick. So the juicing alone helped a lot, because that brought a lot of vitamins out of the natural fruits and juices that I drank. But the algae took me dimensions above that. But both of them together put you on a 3rd dimension. You see what I'm talking about? Juicing alone will help you greatly, without even taking the algae. Vitamins, I stopped taking vitamins 5-6 years ago. I don't believe in them anymore. It's all processed stuff that your body really isn't designed to do. It may help you or whatever, but for the cost of the algae, if you compare it to the cost of your vitamins, it's probably cheaper. But the main thing is, it doesn't make a difference if it's cheaper or not. It will work better. It has to. It has all the vitamins plus other stuff, amino acids and this and that and everything else that the vitamins don't have. And it's all in... See, this is what people have to understand. That's why you got to get my 6-hour film. You can take all the vitamins you want, C, B, E, or whatever, but if you're lacking one certain amino acid, which is basically something that puts all the vitamins together to make it work in your body, all the vitamins you take ain't going to make any difference, because it needs this certain amino acid to make everything work. So if you don't have these certain amino acids in balance with all these different vitamins all in your system at exactly the same time, it means nothing how many vitamins you take. That's why I laugh at all these people that say, I take vitamins. Oh, I take this, I take this, I take this, I take... You can never take everything exactly the way it's supposed to be, because nature is not that simple. Or if you take a C, B, E, F, G, or pill, and all these other things, you say, oh, I take enzymes, I take... No, it's a whole different thing. The algae, which is in nature automatically the perfect food for our body, which has been scientifically proven in these guys' tapes. You know, I'll give you the tapes if you want, the ones that these scientists and doctors come on and say that the algae is the most perfectly balanced thing for your body. It has all this stuff in here, just like I'm saying right now. Why try to fight Mother Nature by taking it apart, make pills out of it, and then put it back in your body? Eat the algae directly. All it is harvested, freeze-dried, put in capsules, and that's it. See, if you freeze something and eat it, the amino acids and vitamins and stuff in it is still in it. When you take it and process it and chemically change it and everything like that and put it in pills and stuff like that, you get very, 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 very little effort out of it. I mean, very little benefit out of it. So don't waste your effort on the vitamins. Go directly to the source of the perfect food. Don't mess around. Don't try to fool Mother Nature by taking vitamins. Work with Mother Nature, and you'll fool everybody else around you who's taking. You'll laugh at these people. You get on algae, and you see how often you get sick compared to what you used to before. Now, I'm not saying you're never going to get sick. Just look at how sick compared to what you used to be before. You will be better. Some people only get sick half as much as they did before. They'll be happy. It's less than what they were before. Some people won't get sick anymore. Ever since I've been on algae, I haven't even had a little sniffle or a cold. Proof's in the pudding. So far, I haven't been sick. I haven't been sick. It's been almost a year now. I have not been sick. Because the last time I was sick was about Christmas time last year, and we'll pass that. Right now, it's, what was the date I put up here? What's the date today? This is the last day of January. January 31st is the date today. The last time I was sick was over a year ago. And I always get sick during the wintertime. Now this summer, I did have a summer cold. But that was before I got into algae. I got into algae in August. I did have a cold in June or something, I think. But it didn't last too long. Because I was on juice. I got rid of it in 3 or 4 days. I didn't suffer very much. I got rid of it. Now that I'm on the algae, I'm convinced I'm going to become younger, stronger, go back to when I was when I was a youth. Give me a year to do it. Check back with me. And the proof will be in the pudding. I'm going to sit down and do 1,000 sit-ups or more. And I'm going to go do my pull-ups and see how many I can do. That's it. There's no cheating. The proof will be there. I'll do it. Or come maybe 80 to 90% close to what I used to do. And if I can do between 80 and 90% of what I used to do when I was younger, as far as I'm concerned, I'm physically 20 years younger than what I am now. And that's it. There was one other point I was going to make here. What was this? See, I should write notes, but that's not any fun that way. Okay, I brought up the tapes. I brought up my film. I brought up what the algae did for me. I touched on what it did for the other person. I told you about my tapes where I really get nasty on and really get into this really big time about basically what those tapes are about is my reaction to the people who don't want to watch the rest of my tapes, and I call them a bunch of nasty things and I tell them what they are and everything, which are the tapes once you join with me and you're on the algae, or at least you're working with me in capacity, you can have those tapes as long as you give me, like I said, an empty cassette tape. Because this will help you handle and understand all the negativeness that these other people are going to give you once they find out that you're in this business. Because everybody's going to be trying to knock you down. See, everybody that are sick out there, they all want to see you fail. See, that's part of the sickness. And anybody who's watching this thing, I know what they do, they sit back and they snicker and say, look at this nut, look what he's doing. You're sick. Because if you're thinking negative, you're sick. Because they're all a bunch of know-it-alls. And anybody who thinks they know it all is sick, because you know what? You never know it all. In fact, the more I learn, the more I know I don't know. So actually, the more you know, the more you should humble yourself. Because the more you learn about this kind of stuff that I'm talking about, the more you learn how awesome nature is. But the whole thing is you can understand nature, and you can work with the forces of nature. See, you don't have to understand how nature works in detail, like the algae. You don't have to know all the different stuff that's in it. You know why? Because your body is a biological computer about 3.5 billion years old being programmed, and it knows what to do with this algae when it gets in your stomach or in your system. It knows what to do with it. Automatically. You don't have to know. There's little computer programs like inside of every cell in your body, and when it gets this perfect food for your body, it will heal itself very, very quickly. So you don't have to know how nature does it. All you have to know that if you give nature what it needs to work optimally, it will do it automatically. So actually, the dumber you are, and the more faith you have in believing in nature, which you will build up by getting all my films, my 6-hour film and all this other kind of stuff, you say, it is so simple, and it makes so much sense, and there's no loose ends, and everything has been proven, and the facts are scientifically there. This algae is the best stuff on earth to eat, so if I don't eat it, then I'm pretty damn stupid. Yeah. Hopefully that's what you come away with. But if you come away with the thing, oh, it's a bunch of bunk, whatever you eat, you get by and stuff like that, well, fine. Every man has their limitations. If you feel that that's the way it is, hey, I gave it my best shot. This business isn't for you. You're not in the right frame of mind, or maybe you're too far gone. You can't handle this. That's fine. But see, Al does not bother people. This is why I came up with this great idea about you give me a cassette, I give it back to you. I don't have to call you up and say, hey, are you done with my cassette? Bring it back to me. No, it's yours. If you want more information, you come back to me. You know where I am. Just in case you don't have my phone number, I'll give it to you again here right now. My area code is 216-731-4446. My name is Al. If you want to know more about me and my 6-hour tape, it got to get real down and personal. And even I tell you, I mean, I got everything covered in this tape. If anybody's interested in the ice ages, I spent 2 hours explaining how the ice ages work, the cycle and everything, and what it does to the ground and the earth, and why the food gets weaker every day. Because we are in a cycle of an ice age right now. Now, you can be in any cycle. You can be in a warm cycle. You can be in a cold cycle. You can be in between cycle, whatever. When you get my film, I'll tell you where we're at. In fact, I don't have to tell you where you're at. You can see the way I'm explaining it. You know where you're at. Very interesting. And then when you see the weather patterns happening, and you see more killings and murderings and more wars on TV, you're going to say, hey, Al predicted that all this stuff is going to get worse. Yes, it will. And it will get worse at a very, very fast rate. Some people say, what the heck is he doing? If this is my timer, I know how long I'm talking on the film. And also, if I'm reviewing the film and I want to just take a piece of this out to put it in maybe some other film I'm going to make later, I know by where these hands are in the clock exactly where to put the film on and off. See, that's the whole reason for that. See, I'm on algae. I'm working like nature. See, nature works in 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and maybe even other levels, 10 or 12 levels that we don't even know about, which I go into on my film. If any of you have, especially if you're a younger person, get my film and watch it. You may not understand it, but since you will own the film and have it, you can watch it over and over again and pick up all the information. I have a film up here that I got, that I ordered. It's called The Cancer Answer. I'm just going to do this to whet your appetite a little bit more. There is only one type of cancer. There is only one type of cancer. I explain this in my film, and I'm going to go through it real quick for you right now. Cancer just attacks the weakest part of the body. So if it happens to be the bone cells in your body are the weakest ones, cancer settles there. So that becomes bone cancer. If it happens to be your liver, it goes to your liver. It happens to be your stomach is weak. See, everybody's different. So everybody's going to have different weak points. I explain this in my 6-hour tape, why everybody is different. It's nature's way. It's called diversity of the species, okay? This magic marker every time I use this, it just bothers my nose. The fumes off of it just kill me. Well, anyway, so the only reason why somebody gets cancer is because they're exposed to some very high level of radiation or whatever, which biologically causes problems, okay? Well, that's an extreme thing, but everything being equal, if you are just living your life or whatever, the only reason why you end up getting cancer is because your immune system, which is part of your body that defends against germs and bad cells in your body and stuff like that, your immune system is too weak because it's not getting the proper food in your body to take care of all the cleanup, which means getting rid of all the cells that are dying in your body continuously. It can't get rid of them fast enough, so what your body does is you don't have enough of an armed force to take care of the enemies invading your body, so the weakest part of your body gets cancer. So the odds are, if you get on this algae in your juice, plus there's some other stuff, which I don't want to get into, and this is what I want to leave you with at this point. It's going to sound like I'm kind of like bribing you or threatening you, but I'm not. Let's be practical. I'm in this business to make money and help other people make money, and at the same time get them healthier, stronger, so they can make more money for themselves and at the same time make more money with me. See, I make money the more money that you make. So I want to help you make money because you help me make money. If I can make you more money by making you feel healthier and stronger and more productivity, the more money I make. So I'm trying to help both of us at the same time. I'm not trying to take advantage of you. Everybody thinks there's a con. No, there's no con here. Now everybody's worried about working with me and I'm making money. I'm working for him. That goes to prove that you're sick and you need this algae. Don't worry about what the person above you is making. Am I worried about this person who's 2 levels above me, who's making $678, I said? Yeah? See, my memory's even better, see? Now, I'm a dialectic. I mix up numbers and everything, see? My dialectic isn't so bad. No, I'm glad you're making this because that means I can be making this in a year and a half. Or more. Or close to it. Or whatever. So I'm glad. That's why I send off to them. I want to know how much they were making. And the person above her is making $2,000 a month. In fact, for those of you who get a film that I have in the future, I made a mistake. I said that she was making, my upline was making $2,000 a month. No, the person above her was making $2,000. So you're going to see when you get all my films, there's little bits and pieces of different things that you're going to see every place else. It will all, you see, I know that people will have these tapes. And if I make up some lies, I'm going to get caught sooner or later. Because it's on film. So if you go through and you see me caught in a lie someplace else, oh no, he said this on another film, you get this film out and you put it in there and you're going to see the dates on the board and everything. Oh yeah, that lying, no good for nothing now. That's why if I make a mistake, I'm not perfect. And since I don't have this thing and I'm not doing it by notes and everything, I'm going to make some mistakes. So what? I'm big enough and I don't have an ego problem. I'm willing to admit it. Okay? No problem. That's it. There was something else. Okay, just watch me, keep tabs on me, but the longer it takes you to join me, you're the one who's the loser because you can join working with me now and test this out at the same time, and plus, now is the cheapest it's going to be for you to join me because I may not, once I get into this plan, I may change this plan a little bit. Maybe it's not as good a deal for me as I thought. You know what I mean? But for the people who get in on it, at the time when I make a deal, I make a deal. Okay? I stick to it. That's it. Okay. I'm going to shut you off here. If I have to remember the other thing I want to do, I'll just blip back on here. There's something, my algae is telling me there's some other point I wanted to make. So I'm going to turn you off, and then if not, then this will be the end of the tape. By the way, I have many other things I'm involved in. Oh, you'll be getting computer printouts with this stuff in the future to let you know about the other tapes that I have. I do have a post box that I'll be giving you. In fact, I'll give it to you right now. That way it'll be easier for you people. This isn't what I was going to say, but this is just something else. This is my all-time post box. I've had it for about 15 years now. The name of my company is Aceway. A-C-E, period, on all of those, way. P.O. Box 32171. And that's Euclid, Ohio 44132. Okay? Aceway, P.O. Box 32171, Euclid, Ohio 44132. This is for people who want to get my updated thing about computer printout of what I have available, tapes and stuff. All you do, very simply, just like this, you would send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I will ship the updated computer printout to you at that time. When you get my answering machine is very sophisticated. It will have menus on it. It will tell you what menu to hit so you know what I have available or what's going on at that time. So just keep in contact. I'll be getting that new answering machine pretty soon. Okay. Well, I'll turn you off if I think of that other thing. If not, that's it. Keep this tape in your library. I'm telling you, don't tape over this. Keep it. Take it out and laugh at it with some of your friends, but maybe it might not be so funny to them. Show it to somebody who's sick. Show it to your parents. Show it to somebody who you think may be interested in it, because if you send it to me, you can end up making some money out of it. That I wanted to say or do on the end of this, but I came up with something else. What I'm going to do is, because I think I can get this on the end of my nasty stuff. So for some of you, you may have started this tape in the end. Now what you do is rewind me all the way back to the beginning. And what I do is cover basically what I've just done in the more nasty mode. But I give you, not nasty. Nasty isn't the right word. Let's just say more aggressively and openly and more gutsy and ballsy. Now, if you think you can handle it, rewind the tape all the way back to the beginning. It will give you more insight and more feel for me, and also prep you up for the 6-hour tape if you decide to go into that. Because I hit on some really neat stuff if you rewind me all the way back to the beginning and watch me. Okay? Go!